of the Easy Cage Show. I am Darth Easy.
And I am Rainy Cage, and I'm
And
in
guys,
trouble.
yes, Randy Cage is in trouble. This is episode 156 of the Easy Cage Show. Today, once again, Randy Cage has failed to do his homework. So, once again, he has failed this city. And so, now, once again, we are now. Look, it was kind of an audible of what we actually talk about this weekend or this episode of the ECK show. So today, I just saw Hamilton at Broadway, so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to talk about Hamilton. I mean, might as well, and I can also give a little Broadway review of the play. So, and a Broadway review of Broadway. So yeah, that's the plan. It probably won't be a long episode, and but let's talk about it. I mean, I don't think we've actually ever talked about Hamilton on the Easy K show. It's a thing I've been talking about for years. You finally watched it on Disney Plus a while ago, I believe, and you loved it, right?
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I can't remember now. Did I watch that in 2020 or this summer? I don't know. I think it was 2020 when everybody else when it went on Disney Plus. Maybe
I don't think you watched it till this year. I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember. I was definitely late to the party, but I did enjoy it quite a lot. Still listening to the music. It's good stuff, and I still think they should make a movie out of it. I do. I do think that that would be cool to do. When you went to the Broadway play, I'm assuming that they've recasted people. Like,
Yeah,
it's not.
it's been recast about three times. Really, the only there's only one actor who is still in the original lineup. Is his character, and it's a very small character. It's the one that the song right before King George's song, "You'll Be Back." The guy that's announcing the news and all that.
Yeah,
He was still in the show, still playing the same character and everything. So other than that, everyone else has been recast. I think it's been recast. I think it's the third parts of the cast. I mean, I'm not really too sure of it. And I'll just say it. I'll just say this: as soon as the play starts, I had goosebumps all over. It was so much better than what I was actually expecting it to be, and it hits you like so many times during the play. The emotions hit you, the goosebumps hit you, made me cry at points, and I don't know what it is about it, but there's something about Broadway that, like you just said about, it's like I like to see a movie get made. I'm like, I was on that fence too, but now I'm more the camp of I don't need a movie to be made because I have that experience, and I don't know if a movie could live up to um, such a big idea of a show like Hamilton could be. So, like like In the Heights, for instance, it had a good director, it had a good cast, and it was very simple and easier to do it that because you can cast it ethnically and everything. If we do Hamilton, live action, cast different characters of different races in there, it's gonna throw me off just a little bit. I mean, it doesn't really bother me in the play because Manuel Miranda, when he said that they didn't go after the cast. They wanted to show how America is cast today, diversity today. So you have whites, you have blacks, you have Hispanics. In this version of it, you have like Aaron Burr is played by Chinese or Japanese or an Asian American descent. So you have all these different things. So that's the thing that makes the play great, and you can totally buy into that. But for me, for a movie, I don't know if I could buy into it when we are transported to 1776. And I mean, I'd be interested in seeing it, but I just don't think I don't want to see it now.
they could really do it if they just don't mention it. Like, we don't have to point it out. We could just be like, "Oh, cool! They're just doing the same thing like in the play. Like, they're not,
Right, but
they're not
but then
casting
the
based on
but
color."
then the movie can't be its own thing, and then it's just like it becomes the Lion King. It becomes all these Disney live action remakes that
True.
we're just basically doing the same thing. And I think a biopic on Alexander Hamilton would be just as an interesting movie as the Broadway play. I know that's not what they would do, but like I've been saying it way before Hamilton even came out. I mean, this is a guy who he started off as an immigrant. He wrote all these letters and things. Rose up into George Washington's secretary. Had a little bit of a fall into grace. Well, it kind of becomes at the end Shakespeare, a tragic hero, like Shakespearean character. He has that affair with the one girl, and then he dies at the hands of his friend, his enemy, and like I said, I just don't know if the movie could capture what I loved about the Hamilton play. Because I've listened to music so many times. I've watched the movie on Disney Plus a couple times, and like I said, I was blown away with the Broadway play. It just captures the emotions and and just this, there's like so much going on. It's like when you go see one of these plays, is you're you're watching a movie taking place live action, and to I applause to the actors that do Broadway plays, because a movie, you do your movie, you're done. A movie, TV show, you do it once, you're done. You don't have to do it again. Broadway play, it's a concert. It's a musical concert. You got to go on there, perform, and don't miss a step. And some of the different actors playing these different characters was very interesting. Like, I have to say, the guy that played Hamilton, I kind of liked him better than Lin-Manuel Miranda, because he was a little bit of a better actor at times. Because I love Lin-Manuel Miranda, I love his music, but I'm not the biggest fan of his acting skills at times. But what I loved about the guy that played Hamilton in this play was that he had a comedic side to it. He was very funny. He did some things, and that's one thing I liked about seeing these different actors playing these characters, that they brought their own different kind of spin to it. The guy that played Hercules Mulligan and James Madison, I thought he was very different from the original guy that played him. I really like when I saw the guy that played Lafayette, that's Thomas Jefferson. I was like, I don't know about him, but he sold me, especially his Thomas Jefferson. I thought his Thomas Jefferson was very, very good. I thought his Lafayette was very interesting as well, and the women characters from Eliza and Angelica are great. I mean, one of the tear moments you have during the play is the burn. Whenever she has the letters and she's burning them on the stage, and you're just like, man, that's just, it's hard. It's like she's holding a letter that's on fire and just throws it in the bucket. You're like, man, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool stuff. So, and the song that made me cry is "It's Quiet Uptown," the song right after Eliza and Hamilton's son Philip just is killed, and it's a song about them trying to move on, try to rekindle this relationship, and it's a beautiful song. It's one of the most beautiful songs in the Hamilton play. And the ending's great too. I mean, the last duel with Bird, the ending where he says that now I'm the villain in your history books, and I've always found that very interesting, especially as someone who studies history and knows what happened to Eric Burr after Hamilton and how his life kind of spirals even further down after killing Hamilton. It's just such an interesting story, and I'm glad it was made, and I'm glad I got to see it in Broadway. It was definitely the highlight of my New York trip, and I recommend to anybody who listens, watches, whatever. I recommend checking out Hamilton. It's totally worth going to see. If you're ever in New York and you want to see Hamilton, I recommend seeing Hamilton. It's such a good play. So that's my thoughts of Hamilton.
Did you like it better than the? I guess you have only to compare it to that Disney Plus thing, but you liked it better, even with
I
the
liked
cast?
it better. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it better. I mean, it just I don't know how to describe it, but when you're there, it's like watching a movie in theaters and watching a movie on a streaming service. Sometimes going to the theaters is better, but sometimes, but for me, I got swept up in the emotions. The songs were great. Watching all the dancing and all the movement was good. My only negative of the show was I wasn't crazy about the guy that played King George. This is, I think, the third guy to play King George, and he had moments. But for me, if I was going to throw up a negative of the whole show, it was him. But I mean, it's all right. I mean, his musical numbers were fine. It just, I don't know. I just didn't like him as much as I liked the Jonathan Groff in the original Disney Plus animation, the original show. And it's funny though, because the play starts off with King George. And it says like, "Hello, this is King George the Third. Please turn off all cellular devices and welcome to my show." It's just very funny. So any last thoughts on Hamilton, Rady?
I'm glad I could contribute to this conversation. I enjoyed it. I didn't get to experience it like you did, so who knows? But me and Kia have been talking about maybe going on a trip to New York next summer, so maybe I'll experience it then. We shall see.
All
But
right.
other than that, no.
Okay, guys, that ends another episode of the Easy K Show. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Once again, another improv audible movement by the Easy Cage folks, but I felt like we pulled it off. Maybe next week, this is becoming the Jimmy Fallon's comedy sets. Next week, Matt David will be on the show. So next week, maybe Lord of the Rings, maybe not. So I keep having to, on the picture for the Lord of the Rings one, I keep having to change the number because I don't know when we're ever going to do it. Because we're going to do it. It's
one day.
So,
I can't believe though that there's not enough stuff to talk about that we constantly have to be like next week, Lord of the Rings. I'm surprised we aren't pushing it like 3 months. We got lots of stuff we could be talking about.
No, not right now. So
like them Cowboys.
Yeah, F them. So, all right, guys. Make sure you check out Rain Cage at his Letterboxd. He just posted reviews of Eternals. I think he has a review of Finch. Probably a movie of The Blue Notice.
Red Notice. Yes,
yeah, sure. See, I don't know what the movie's called. And yeah, and guys, you can check out my YouTube channel. I'll have reviews of the Hamilton Broadway play. Actually, that review will be up this week.
Whoa! Easy Case doesn't review Broadway plays.
And then also I'll have a review of Doogie Kamehameha, the Disney Plus series that I just finished, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Wait, what was it called?
Doogie Kamehameha or something. So it's a Disney Plus series. It's about this girl who's 16 years old and is a doctor, and it's got a really good family centered thing around it. And she's
like
just super.
Hauser?
Yeah, basically, but they all call her Doogie because she's so good at being what she does. So it's a good show. It's 10 episodes, Disney Plus. It's worth checking out.
Okay.
So, and also I'll have a classic movie review of a movie called Begin Again, which I just saw on Netflix right before I went to New York, and that will be out this week as well. So, guys, until next time, all too easy.